Welcome to Super Showdowns, the ultimate destination for epic battles and legendary showdowns. Join us as we put iconic superheroes, villains, and mythological figures against each other in thrilling matches of strength, strategy, and skill. The sky above Metropolis rippled like disturbed water. A thin, silver light cut through the dark canvas of night, stretching across the heavens like a scar in space-time. Then a low hum followed, a deep, unnatural vibration that no human ear could fully comprehend. Birds scattered, electronics flickered, street lights dimmed as though reality itself had momentarily lost power. Superman stood on the rooftop of the Daily Planet, his crimson cape rippling against the wind. His super hearing picked up the frequency long before the disturbance manifested. An energy unlike anything he had encountered before. It wasn't Kryptonian. It wasn't magical. It wasn't even something the Green Lanterns had warned him about. It was cosmic. And then he arrived. A silver meteor streaked across the sky, slowing mid-descent before hovering in place above Metropolis. It was no falling star. It was a man. The Silver Surfer. His luminous form bathed the city in a pale glow, his sleek, metallic skin reflecting every neon light below. He stood effortlessly on a gliding, ethereal board, as if he were one with it. He was an enigma, a being who had surfed the birth and death of stars, a wanderer whose past was carved into the very bones of the cosmos. Superman immediately recognized the power radiating from him. He wasn't just another visitor from space. He was something more. The Man of Steel took off, ascending to meet the cosmic traveler in the air, his presence marked by a sonic boom that rattled the city below. He hovered a few feet away from the surfer, arms folded across his chest. His piercing blue eyes locked onto the stranger's silver visage. "I could hear you coming from across the galaxy," Superman said, his voice calm but firm. "You're not from this world." The Silver Surfer's eyes gleamed, his voice carrying an ethereal weight. "No, I am not." There was silence for a moment, the air between them heavy with unseen forces. The world below stood still, the city unaware of the cosmic standoff unfolding in its skies. "I am Norrin Rad, the Silver Surfer, former Herald of Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds," he continued. "And I have not come to bring war, Superman, but I am bound by cosmic decree. The fate of this world, your world, hangs in the balance." Superman's gaze narrowed. He had heard such words before. "Whose decree?" he asked, his voice edged with suspicion. "What gives you or anyone else the right to decide the fate of Earth?" Silver Surfer's eyes betrayed a glimmer of sorrow. "Not I, but forces beyond even your comprehension have taken notice. This planet's protector is too powerful, too influential in the cosmic balance. You tip the scales in ways you do not yet realize." Superman's fist clenched. He had been called many things in his time. Savior, guardian, even a god among men. But a threat? "I've dedicated my life to protecting this planet," Superman said. "I've saved it from warlords, monsters, and alien conquerors. If the universe sees that as a problem, then
Hey you, don't just watch. Subscribe please.
maybe the universe needs a new perspective." The Silver Surfer shook his head. "Your strength is unmatched, Kal-El. Your speed, your mind, your willpower. These things are beyond what the natural order allows. You have become more than a protector. You have become an anomaly." Superman's eyes glowed faintly red. "You know my Kryptonian name?" "I know much about you," the Surfer replied. "I have seen entire star systems fall because of beings like you. Heroes who become more than just symbols, they become gods. And gods always demand more from the universe than it can give." Superman exhaled slowly. "You're wrong." "Am I?" Silver Surfer asked. His voice remained even, but the energy around him grew denser. "You may not see it, but the universe does. There are powers that do not wish for another Krypton to rise. There are entities that fear a single man standing between chaos and control." He paused. "Even now, There are those who argue Earth should be removed from the equation. Superman's jaw tightened. He had always known the universe was vast and filled with unknown dangers. But to hear that forces beyond his knowledge were deciding Earth's fate, that was unacceptable. "Let me guess," Superman said. "You're here to judge me?" Silver Surfer shook his head. "No, I am here to test you." A pulse of power cosmic rippled through the air, warping the very molecules between them. It wasn't an attack yet, it was a warning. The raw cosmic force that radiated from the surfer caused the very sky to shimmer, as if the laws of physics were bending to his will. Superman's cape flared behind him, his muscles tense, his instincts preparing for battle. He had fought gods before. He had battled celestial beings, demonic forces, and multiversal threats. If this was a challenge, then he would meet it head-on. He cracked his knuckles, the sound echoing like distant thunder. "I was hoping you'd say that." The air exploded as Superman launched forward, his speed breaking the sound barrier, his fist cocked back. The Silver Surfer reacted instantly, his board carrying him backward with impossible precision, his hands glowing with cosmic energy. The stars above trembled. The battle had begun. The air itself ignited as Superman shot forward, breaking the sound barrier in an instant, his fist, capable of shattering moons, hurtled toward the Silver Surfer like a comet of pure force. But before impact,
Hey you, don't just watch. Subscribe please.
Surfer tilted his board ever so slightly, and Superman's punch missed by a fraction of an inch. In the same motion, a surge of power cosmic rippled from the surfer's outstretched palm. The energy lashed out like an invisible tidal wave, crashing into Superman's chest and sending him spiraling backward through the sky. Boom! Superman's body smashed through a distant skyscraper, shattering its steel and glass frame like fragile paper. The building buckled but did not collapse, only because Superman, in the very moment of impact, twisted midair and caught the top half before it could tip over. In one fluid motion, he set the structure right, his arms straining for only a fraction of a second. But the effort gave Silver Surfer just enough time to press his advantage. The cosmic being descended like a falling star, his hands glowing with the light of dying suns. He fired another blast, but this time, Superman was ready. He dodged, vanishing from sight for a millisecond before reappearing behind the surfer. His arms locked around the cosmic warrior in an unbreakable grip. "This ends now," Superman growled. Then he launched upward, dragging the surfer with him. They tore through the stratosphere, leaving a burning trail in their wake. Within seconds, they breached the Karman line, where the Earth's blue sky gave way to the infinite black of space. Superman kept going, past the moon, past Mars, past the asteroid belt. By the time they reached Jupiter's orbit, Superman released his grip and, with a single strike, sent Silver Surfer careening toward the gas giant's great red spot. But as the surfer spiraled, he did not panic. He did not resist. Instead, he merely gestured, and reality bent. Whoosh! In a blink, the surfer stopped mid-flight, his body unfazed by the impossible momentum. He turned, his expression unreadable, and before Superman could react, a wave of raw cosmic force surged toward him. The blast struck him head-on. Superman barely had time to scream before he was buried under its might, his body flung backward faster than the speed of light. For the first time in years, he felt pain. For the first time in years, he couldn't breathe. By the time he regained his bearings, he was already plummeting toward the sun. Superman twisted mid-fall, halting himself mere miles from the sun's surface. The golden radiation poured over him, restoring his strength, his wounds knitting together. The surfer approached unharmed, gliding across the vacuum of space as if it were solid ground. "You are strong," the surfer said, his voice carrying across the void. "But strength alone is not enough." Superman clenched his fists. "You think I don't know that?" "No," the surfer admitted. "But you do not understand the true nature of power. He raised a single hand, and for the first time, Superman felt it, the strange, indescribable pull against his very essence. A weakness unlike kryptonite. At first, it was subtle. His muscles stiffened, his vision blurred. He reached out, grasping at empty space, trying to steady himself. "What are you doing?" "I am taking what makes you more than a man," Silver Surfer said simply. "I am draining the solar energy that fuels you. You will not die, Kal-El, but you will know what it means to be powerless." Superman's eyes widened in horror. He had never faced an enemy who could strip him of his strength without kryptonite, magic, or red sunlight. This was different. This was pure cosmic will. He tried to move, tried to fly, but his body refused to obey. The Surfer's power siphoned him dry, like an ocean being emptied drop by drop. Superman reached for the sun, desperate to absorb more, but it was futile. His cells no longer responded. He was still alive, still breathing, but he was no longer Superman. He was just Kal-El, a lost Kryptonian adrift in space. He looked at his hands. His once invulnerable skin now felt human. "Yield," the Surfer said. Superman struggled to stay afloat. The weight of his own body, something he had not felt in decades, was now unbearable. Yet still, he fought. He lashed out, swinging his fist, only for the Surfer to catch it effortlessly. There was no impact, no shockwave, just silence. Superman panted, his breath fogging in the cold emptiness of space. He had lost. The realization hit him harder than any blow ever could. The Silver Surfer studied him, his cosmic gaze filled with neither arrogance nor malice, only understanding. "I told you," he said softly. "You are too powerful for this world, but power must be controlled. This is the will of the universe." Superman's eyelids grew heavy. His arms went limp. For the first time in his life, he surrendered. The Silver Surfer lowered his hand, releasing his hold over the Kryptonian. Superman's body fell, pulled toward the endless flames of the sun. But before he could be lost forever, the Surfer reached out, and in a flash of cosmic light, both of them vanished. Back on Earth, in Metropolis, a silver streak appeared across the sky once more. And then gently, with the weight of a feather, a broken Superman was laid at the steps of the Fortress of Solitude. His cape was torn, his symbol was cracked, his strength was gone. For the first time since he had donned the emblem of hope, Superman had been defeated.